into that huddle right now. What's the kind of coaching that he's receiving about how he can put the hammer down and keep that clean sweep rolling here?
Stop fooling around.
Stop
play
fooling
normal
around.
chess and play it quickly.
Okay, so by all accounts, I think for both of you, it's less about the technicalities of the chess. It's more about the mindset of the players coming in. Eris, our referee, has given the okay for the game to start. Levy back on the white side of the board as he is the home player in this matchup, and away we go into a 5-5 time control.
E4, E5, we're actually getting very principled chess from both the players.
Yeah, now that I said that they should play normal chess, I wish they went for something a little bit more random. But we do have what's called the Scotch game played pawn d4, and after the swap of pieces, we can see that there are some threats, right? That knight can be captured. Both knights are staring at each other, but for the time being, everything is well defended.
Sagar is taking his time on the third move, which shows that he has not predicted this, he was not anticipating it, and Levy's like, yep, I made a good choice in the opening. Bishop to b4 check.
Good choice from Sagar. It's not the most common line. It's becoming increasingly popular. You see him laughing. He's like, you don't know this, buddy.
Well, and really, there's three ways to respond to this, right? The knight can come out and block, the pawn can move forward, or the bishop can come out and block as well, right? Offering the trade.
Yeah, and even the bishop here is available. It looks like a rough move because the knight would have been hanging, but it actually tactically was sound. It's a good call dash. And that bishop, it says, all right, you attack me, I'll move back. I think that Levy should continue with his normal development, but I feel like Sagar actually knows more than he initially let off.
I mean, if you think about it, he allowed this move pawn to c3 for free for white, but now the point is that the white knight on b1 does no longer have the square on c3 to jump to.
That's a good point. It's going to be more difficult to develop that knight or take more time to get it to a square that feels impactful and useful. But that is 3 bishop moves in a row there for Sagar Shah. Typically, again, at my level of play, when I'm looking at getting better, it's an often repeated thing. Early in the game, development is more important, and what hinders that is having to move the same piece multiple times. I've effectively given you 3 moves to develop, and even still, only 2 of my minor pieces are out on the board.
When you have millions of subscribers on YouTube, you can get away with breaking
whatever
principles.
you want.
That's actually what they say. It's not, learn enough and then you can get rid of them. It's just get all those YouTube subscribers. But in all seriousness, what Harshit said was a really good point. He provoked this move c2 to c3 to take away that knight's access, so white cannot as easily develop. Black is going to try to develop on the king side of the castle, like knight f6, immediately putting pressure on the center. And I think Sagar really is playing nicely, and I truly believe that he tricked Levy a little bit.
Ooh.
He acted like he didn't know what to do in the Scotch, but he seems quite booked up.
He seems quite booked up, and look at the bar, look at the clock. Both favoring black right now. Sagar has taken the initiative on the board, a minute lead on the clock. I have a feeling that Sagar is going to win this game.
Oh, wow, calling it already. Because from where I stand, again, feels equal. There's so many pieces on the board. It doesn't actually, in the end, feel like anyone's advantage. So what do you like so much about it? Is it just your perception that he has more knowledge of the position, so you have confidence?
Or you
actually
Sagar.
like the position?
I just like Sagar.
Okay. That's a good enough reason for me, if I'm being honest. I like him, too. I like him both.
But that's the problem, is everybody likes him. So, that means that every game he plays, he should be doing well.
Yeah.
So I second what Harshit is saying, because I know that in all seriousness, he's looking especially like, that's a tall pawn. That bishop on f3 is defending, it's not aggressive. Bishops love open space and open diagonals. And for Sagar, he can go right after that bishop. We keep talking about the bishop pair, the 2 bishops advantage. He can get that right now.
And would you be considering this move pawn to d5 as black just breaking in the center, trying to open up that bishop on c8? Do you think, Robert, Sagar is considering this move right now, pawn to d5?
He'd be a braver man than I, and I think that Harshit, you're suggesting some great moves. d5, it looks risky because you will allow white to take this knight on c6, but no, he says, not in this game. Double pawns, I actually find them quite bad in blitz chess. And pawn structure is often overrated, but in blitz chess in particular, you start worrying with the long-term issues. Pass pawns, not easy to obtain when you have double pawns. They also, pawn's best friend is another pawn. You want to protect with pawns, not have them stacked in front of each other.
That's interesting. That almost goes counter to what I maybe would have thought. I would have thought, to a degree, in the faster time controls, you could take, more risks or have maybe quote-unquote worse positions because everybody's moving with imperfect knowledge and not enough time to calculate. But in this case, you're saying, no, that's absolutely okay.
I would say dynamic risks are often great in blitz chess, but static weaknesses, that's where the struggle occurs.
Gotcha. Okay, well, so can we create those static weaknesses? That becomes the question here for Sagar Shah. Still trying to get a point on the board for Team India as we're in our second bout between him and Levy Rozman. 3 minutes on the clock here for Sagar.
And
Looks out a move.
D5, the pawn break in the center that we were talking about, he goes for it. And he also always has the ability to take that, chop that bishop on f3 when he wants, getting that strategic advantage of bishop pair.
Is that starting to feel like the face of regret there on Levy? Time is starting to slip away. Almost half of a bank to deal with of his opponent. You can kind of see it. I don't know if I'm in a comfortable position anymore.
Yeah, it's all funny when you're riling the audience up, but the jokes are gone. Sagar is like, I'm going to take you down. Look at this. First the D pawn, now the C pawn, attacking a knight in the center. And white center is on the verge of collapsing if he's not careful.
It's all about who gets the last laugh. Sagar very serious right now. Look at the focus. Look at that intensity with which he's calculating in this position.
The time is going to become an issue here for Levy now. Again, just a quick reminder for everybody. Once they dip below 1 minute, you will get 1 second increment per move that you make, up until the point where you go back over a minute. But that is going to give Levy at least something to fall back on in terms of not losing too much on time. Still an opportunity to be flagged, though.
That's not what you see in everyday tournaments. The ability to give increment only once someone is below a certain time quantity. That's an awesome addition to this event.
And that's thanks to Tag Heuer, one of our incredible partners who had to develop that new clock and timepiece in order to effectively deliver us a tournament like this.
Absolutely. Look at the position now. The two knights on D2 and C2. It's been a long time since I've seen two knights next to each other on D2 and C2.
Not what you advise for your students. And look at this. He's saying, yeah, you have these really passive knights. I'm going to press forward. And that bishop that made so many turns, it's about to stare towards the white king. And look at the smile, that wide smile on Sagar's face.
Oh, shoes on the other foot there. Levy entertained the idea of a draw when maybe he could have reached for more in game one, and that decision might come back to bite him on the tail of trying to be the showman that he always is.
Coulda, woulda, definitely shoulda, because Levy right now is in huge trouble on the clock. He has the worst position over the board. I really like his last move, though, because Harsha was correct to criticize those knights that were just sitting next to each other. That knight would like to pile pressure on a pin piece, everybody. The knight on f6 cannot move without black losing the queen behind him.
Yeah, I mean, he has found a great resource to try and reroute this knight to D5, as you mentioned there, Robert. What does black do now? I like this move, bishop to E6. I want to stop that knight from on B4 to come into D5 and put pressure on my knight on F6. Bishop to E6 is my prediction.
And he'll find it.
Yeah.
Levy, though, still says, I'm happy to centralize my knight, but this does give, rather, the opportunity for a trade of minor pieces in the center of the board. It would be bishop for knight.
Either way.
Want to take your hair from thinning to thriving? Just take the free assessment from Hims Hair Loss, prescribed by...
Yeah, so maybe lower heartbeats per minute, but ultimately feeling the pressure of the moment just a little bit more. There it goes. We're going to have the knight fall away. Would expect to capture back, logically. Why are we thinking?
It's a good question, whether to take the knight on f6 first or take the bishop right away. He takes the bishop, and now for Sagar, he's got a number of options. This pin is really annoying. I would try to break the pin, either by pushing my pawn to attack the bishop, or bring my queen up. Either way, this pawn on d5, it's worse than its counterpart on d4.
Guys, it's bullet chess now. Let's go.
That's right. Just dipping under a minute himself here, Sagar. So each will get a second back per move that they make. But the red is on the clock, and that's when you might get the heart rate change. And things are going to start to pick up pace.
And there was a bit of emphasis with that capture. Sagar took the bishop, and he kind of screwed that knight in there. And here goes the d5 pawn. So right now, black is up a pawn. But look at the shattered king side, the weak squares. Right in front of double pawns is a square that white can take.
At one point, there was a minute-and-a-half advantage all the way over in Sagar's camp. Now it's only down to about 15 seconds between them. So things are getting a little bit tighter. And ultimately, Levy is still fighting.
He's fighting, but he has 20 seconds on his clock right now. 20 seconds on his clock. He goes queen to b5. He's trying to remaneuver the queen to the king side, to the h5 square right now. And look at both of them. They're nervous. I can sense it.
Yeah, their entire body language has changed. They're no longer making any references to
we could see a repetition again. And the crowd wants it, I think. If the queen goes back and forth, we may get to a shootout.
Oh, no.
No.
Okay. Sagar refuses. He says, no, I have a win here. I can find it. I can find it. That's his hope.
20 seconds each. Queen b5. Pawn to d3. No, he goes queen to c6.
I think there's nerves here. And look at the queen. It swings over. If the knight can join the party, the black king's in danger. There is one check and one check, but the black rook now is an open file to attack with.
Yeah, that's a grimace. Levy doesn't love his position right now, but he's still going to fight. Down below 10 seconds is he. Only 7 to work with. Back over to Sagar here. How can he put the finishing touches on this game?
And you see Sagar tap the table a little bit. He's really nervous. Capture. What's going on? The pieces are flying.
Okay, a bit of chaos on the board. Wait!
F6 was hanging. The pawn was hanging, but no time.
It was missed. No time to find it.
And take it again.
Pieces are flying off the board.
Too much pressure.
But both sides are in a tough spot because both kings are in danger.
And we're in flagging territory. We've already seen one game decided by a flag. Wait,
What?
Give him 15 seconds extra.
The ref has stepped
What's
in.
next,
15 seconds awarded to Levy, likely because of that
Start
mix-up of pieces.
Yep.
It ate into Levy's time. That is a part of the rule set here. The referee has the ability to give 15 seconds to a player if their time was chewed into due to the play of another person. So Sagar here now with only 1 second to go. He's got to make a move, and he does.
All the pieces drop, and Levy's completely winning.
And Levy's winning.
Oh, my goodness.
It's over.
Oh, in the end, the winner comes through. Wow.
What a game.
Time in the end will be the decider, and Levy, Rozman. They brought us to a second game. It was 5-5. What a show by the two of them. But USA moves up to 4-0.
Man, as bad as I feel for Team India right now, I have to give credit to both the players. What an exciting match. What a